So the problem we're having today is that my batteries are completely flat. I'm not sure what got left on. Checked everything, nothing seemed to be on. But for whatever reason, my batteries were at I don't know, it wasn't even registering. And I couldn't even get the charger to charge it because I didn't really think there was a battery properly hooked up. So, unfortunately today I was supposed to take it in to get a trailer hitch installed, but I can't move it because the batteries won't turn over, and it's not like you can jump start this thing. It's one of the downsides I'm finding with this engine is that it is diesel, 7.3 power stroke, so it requires 2 batteries, and yeah, so that's a lot of current, and you can't just hook it up to your car and expect it to start. I have a jump starter pack, which I tried using on it at least to get it up partway, and that did work. So it worked so I could get it up enough that I could hook up the charger to it. So I'm running the generator and the charger, and hopefully that will charge the batteries and I can get out of here. Well, it didn't work. So I put all the stuff that I could in the bus, anything that I didn't need, and I left. The car just had the basics, and probably not even enough of that, but that's what I had to go on, so that's what I did. I took off and drove up to the campground that I was supposed to take the bus to, and that was the beginning of my work week. I work long hours as a delivery driver, so I don't normally get to see campgrounds during the day when I'm during the work week, but this day I did. This campground is Larabee State Park, up close to Bellingham. I work in Everett, at least at the time of this recording, and it's a bit of a drive, but still a beautiful place. My car turned out to be quite the mess after all of this moving, and not really having any time to organize things, but still, it was a really nice campground. Everything that I needed was there, had food, water, nice shower. At the end of my work week, I headed up into the mountains to the upper Skagit Valley to Rasar State Park. It's mostly just campgrounds, but it does have this very nice field, and it's right on the Skagit River, so lots of beautiful scenery up here. After the disaster with the bus batteries, I ended up deciding to just stay in my car for now. I already had the campsite reservations made. I had to work, and so I ended up just moving into my car temporarily. So I'm living out of my car at campsites at the moment, which actually is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, although I still have to work out the food situation. I had some fresh food because I have refrigeration on the bus, but I don't have any refrigeration here. So I still have food to work out, have to buy new food, basically. But living in the car isn't so bad. It's just a little bit difficult keeping things organized still because I just kind of threw things I needed into the car and took off to the campsites. So it's now been about a week since I moved into the car. I went down this last weekend and sorted out the bus battery situation. One of the batteries is a little strange, so I had to special order it. So that should be in tomorrow. But until then, I'm just going to be hanging out in the car. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be back in the bus, though. It could be a little while. The bus still needs to have the trailer hitch installed, and that's proving to again be way more difficult than it should be. It should have been just a bolt-on operation, but it's not going to be. It needs a lot more work to actually get the hitch receiver to fit onto the frame. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. But once all that's done, then I should be able to move on to the bus, finally. But I just got paid today, and it's not really enough to cover the cost of that operation, so I'm just going to be living in my car for another 2 weeks at least, which is fine. It's actually proving to be not that bad. I do need to change the oil in my car, though, at some point here, and I don't have anywhere to do that, so I'll probably have to take it into a mechanic again and get it serviced, but that's going to eat into my next paycheck significantly. So I spent the day heading out to find some butane fuel for my camp stove, which also turned out to be way more difficult than it needed to be. Apparently no one actually stocks it, so I might have to switch to the propane stove, but the propane stove is nowhere near here, so I did eventually find some and got the stove working. I really like the butane stove. It works great. It's just finding the fuel is kind of a little bit of a pain, that's all. And here it is, my first warm meal of the week. I haven't had warm food in a long time. It definitely is missing some vegetables, and I'm working on that. I should get some in tomorrow, but still good. This little guy wanted to come help with food too. And even though it doesn't look it, things are finally organized in the car. I know where everything is and I have what I need.